what we're ready for. We're ready for the new corporatist takeover of the world. The Great Reset is upon us, and the World Economic Forum, that trilateral commission wannabe, is poised to give us a bunch of gobbledygook about the Fourth Industrial Revolution and how this is going to remake the world in a wondrous, inclusive, and softer, gentler type of world. Well, it's not, and we saw that in testimony this week, the Senate hearings, where a senator at least had the decency to say the truth. We don't trust you. He said that to their faces, and finally, Twitter backs off and says, okay, we're not going to censor one of the oldest continuously publishing newspapers in America. Can you believe it? These people have arrogance that spans the universe. And to just get down to the core of it, that idiot, Dorsey, head of Twitter, is he on drugs? Did anyone have the decency to find out, listen, man, are you on drugs right now? Are you talking to me, or is this some sort of psychotropic daze you're in? He looked like he was on drugs. Anyway, welcome everyone to this week's rant. It may be a rant this week. We don't get closed down by the tech issues we've had. I've got fewer than I normally have this time, so we'll just wait until people drift in and then begin the conversation afoot. The conversation afoot is what's under your feet. And what's under your feet is a bunch of shit. I think it's a million years of shit underneath your feet, and that's what's coming up. The shit is rising up to the surface. And we're going to find out, hopefully, for people, what's going on in their neck of the woods, because what's best to do in this situation is to believe your eyes. Yes, indeed. Believe your eyes, because your eyes... I think I missed all of that. Because my mic was the wrong mic. But we'll get going now. My God, it was good. My rant was good, but now we're on. Welcome, everyone, to this week's listening post. And we just got that Senate testimony, and for God's sakes, one of the senators said, yeah, we don't trust you. I don't think anyone trusts them now. They're peddlers of misinformation by design, by accident, by SJW, by NPC, and they're getting called out on this finally. I think metaphorically, a lot of people want to rip them down brick by brick, take them down, because what they're doing is they're twisting reality to such an extent you don't recognize it. I don't recognize the reality that they're created, that they have created. I don't recognize it. I see sickness in people's minds. I see that Dorset guy, and again, somebody should have the decency to ask him point blank, are you taking psychotropic drugs? Who in the hell's talking to us? Some drug-addled brain or some clear-thinking man? This is unconscionable that people that were drugged up speak and control the actions of people that were sane and don't need the drugs. So this is the world we're in, and this is a world that is ultimately unsustainable. A world which is run by insane people who are 24/7 junked up on psychotropic drugs, whatever they are. This is an unsustainable world. And we've got to come to terms with it and just be polite and gentle, but at the same time, you got to be tough. No, you're nuts. I ain't listening to you. And we've got all these people who apparently are going to melt down after the next American election when the so-called leader of the free world elects its new chief executive officer. And this is definitely going to be... Another one for the books. You couldn't write this. This is fiction. You couldn't write it if you tried. Hey, CJ said something. Well, excellent. You're awake. You're alive. You're watching what's going on. Welcome, CJ. We're just letting people drift in. It seems to be slow this week. Maybe it was my tech issues last week and my lateness. My God, so many things are happening. And but I was right on this week. And anything new in your neck of the woods? And I know, it's a lovely neck of the woods. Change of season, that's new. I saw a great picture of the leaves in color. Beautiful, it just looks beautiful, the leaves in color. I miss that. And you know that there's a cycle, and the cycle goes around, and within this cycle, yeah, of the same old, we live our lives and watch the insanity unfold, and then the sanity reappear. We seem to be in a impending grand solar minimum, not a solar minimum, but a grand solar minimum, and this is definitely a time when thought is going to expand outwards and in both good and bad directions. Hey, we got Santa, who is the Claus, on Cooties 19. What's worse, the Cooties or the story? The story about the Cooties is absolutely the worst thing. Concerns regarding compliance and control. So do I. I'm seeing, people rioting, people getting fed up with this. I see no justification whatsoever to close down your economy, even in a small way. The mask situation is dividing people because people who are sane say, okay, you've got a hole in the mask that's basically the size of a normal doorway, and you have a virus which is basically the size of an ant compared to that hole, and you think you're going to stop it. Like, hello, are we there? Is anyone alive? Is anyone awake? Is anyone thinking? No. Yeah, it might stop a big globule of snot or something coming out your nose, but no, this is utterly, in the long term, not going to stop anything. In addition, we've got the most recent statements from the WHO saying lockdowns are at best to recalibrate your response to it and shouldn't be a primary response. Yeah, why didn't you tell us that months ago? Because you guys are evil, stupid evil. And then we have the CDC saying they don't have a copy of the virus, and thus they cannot verify the accuracy of their tests, and they cannot determine whether it's a cause and effect from the virus to the illness, and they use the word may a whole bunch of times. So everyone's pulling back from this, and these things are getting out. These things are getting out to doctors, and doctors are starting to rise up and say, what has been done in the name of whatever, virtue signaling? No, it's coming to a head. This is apparently now, although they didn't play it that way, but the Democrat Party is leveraging the chaos caused by the response to this Cooties 19. They're leveraging that as a major election issue. And Cuomo just came out and said every death is on Trump's shoulders. What's this? This is nuts. You can't do that. That makes no sense whatsoever. And so this is just misinformation. This is sowing the seeds of division. This is absolute insanity, but it's politicking. And Cuomo thinks he can, get away with this and get votes to try to get his party in, and maybe, with all that he's done to whip up hysteria, he'll get some type of cabinet position. That's what he's, banking on. But, I don't think that's going to happen. Because what I see on the ground, and I'm going to believe my eyes, is that I see tens of thousands of people going out for Trump rallies and a handful of people going out for Biden. In fact, the most I think for Biden was 285. And you're not going to win an election if you can't bring up more than 285 people. And again, YouTubers are bringing up more than that in their live streams than Biden does on his. So we've got sickness. We've got sickness in the misinformation from the pollsters. And again, believe your eyes. They were absolutely wrong. This is predictive programming. This is trying to manipulate and manufacture consent in the 2016 election and probably all previous ones. They're trying to manufacture the result. And as a result, we get to see just how corrupt and evil these people are. These people are evil. They have no compunction to even attempt to put a covering that they're looking for truth. They're not now. They're just lies, lies, lies. Landslide, yeah. It was a landslide last time, Aaron Rubin, if measured by the number of counties that Trump won. It was a landslide. And so we'll look this time at, I think, more of a landslide. I think he's going to get the popular vote, despite California being a complete write-off, and New York as well. You know, you got two of the most populous states. They're sucking on the teat of government, and you know they're just they're strung out on psychiatric pills. I mean, these two states are absolutely scary. And I'll tell you what is scary. Halloween's coming and people are going to be dressing up in masks, but these masks are no scarier than the mask you see of the sheeple. Of the sheeple. The mask of the sheeple come out every day. We don't need Halloween. We need the fucking liars to go away. Because that's what they are. They have created hysteria. They've manufactured a hysteria for an election campaign. Hey, a blue moon. That's right, a blue moon on Halloween. And, well, hasn't been one since 1944. Look at that. We've got a mammoth statistics keeping us lined up. Blue moon tonight. Yeah, that's right. It's either the 30th or the 31st. It's the 31st for me, so I can testify. Tomorrow exists for you. And, yeah, I didn't check out the moon last night. It would be blue here, too, right? But, you know, where I am, they don't really harvest. Yeah. Oh, CJ, that's a little disconcerting. The last World War? You mean, are we in the current World War, or are you predicting a future World War? Because we seem to be there. There's a great reset, and a lot of people don't know about this reset. And if they knew about it, they wouldn't like it. So what we see is a restructuring of the way business is done. Yeah, there we go. Yep. So if you can link to that, if you can go through to that link, I don't know if I can go through while I'm, yeah. Let me see if I can, there we go. There we go. Whoops. I can't seem to get it. Yeah, it's also called the 100 moon. It's a very bright moon. And isn't it the second one in the month? Or maybe, I don't know what it is. Harvest moon is the first one of the month, and blue moon's the second full moon of the month. And the harvest moon is full moon of the month in like October or September or something like that. Helps bring in the crops. This was a great thing that you could work all night, basically, before the snow came, because you never know. You never knew when that snow was going to come. And in fact, we had snow in summer in, places, at least in America. And, you never know what's going to happen. Yeah, the October surprise. And that laptop is indeed the hard drive from hell. It's the hard drive that just keeps on giving. And, it's getting out. Twitter finally had to unblock the New York Post, and this will go down as just unbelievable censorship. This is going to wind up, ending Twitter. That whole thing about 250, they're not publishers and they do this. No. The thing about freedom of speech, Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and Google and all of you, the thing about free speech is you can say things that, other people don't like. Otherwise, in fact, I've got a... what was it? Yeah, I don't think I took a picture of it. But did anyone hear about what MailChimp? MailChimp is like a mass emailing service where you can just connect it to your database and mail out a whole bunch of emails. They are now going to prevent you from mass emailing what they declare, God help us, what they declare to be misinformation. So if you want to say something and use MailChimp, it's going to be read by God knows who, or sent through an algorithm which is given truth and falsity from Big Brother, and then you can't say it. This is absolute violation of everything that the current core of the West holds dear. And they hold it dear for the reason that it is our protection. And so, whether right or whether wrong, the minute you shut people up is the minute you invite violence. And I think we should make that clear. And people have been very patient in this. And that's it. You want to shut people up, you're going to have things to deal with. And it's coming out. We see that. But what you say hurts me. It doesn't hurt you. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words spoken just go through one ear and come out the other if you let it happen. So just let it happen. And if you want to protect the children, then just keep your children at home where they should be, protected by the nest. Otherwise, you've got to have a more proactive approach. And if you don't like what people saying, like this particular channel, block it. Block it. And I hope we don't have young people, because this is not a young people's channel. So if you're a young person, get the hell out. Get the hell out. This is a channel for men. It's for men, about men. And it's about coming to terms with all the situations that are unfolding. Anyway, we got the masks, that experiment. And again, I'm saying you got the doorway. The doorway is like a normal doorway, and you got like an ant passing through. That's the difference. Viruses are very, very small. You can fit 250 million viruses on your average period at the end of a sentence. Okay? And imagine a mask trying to stop one of those. So, hey, Johnny, you had to search hard for this cast. No shit. Oh, my God, they're burying me. They're burying me. Yeah, but that's okay. Again, if my head were up, I'd be banned. To tell you the truth, I'd be banned. Wouldn't I? Wouldn't I be banned? Why am I not banned? I'm not banned because they buried me. And but we're still broadcasting, and the word's getting out. Whatever word that is, I don't know. We know that there's great insanity, that there's great lies, and that we can make it through this. We can make it through. Mgtow Ghost Level 4. Keep your head down. There's no reason to stick your head up. There's no reason to get in an argument with any real person. There really isn't. And what was it last week? Somebody asked, if somebody asked you, are men and women equal, what would my response be? And Whiskey had a good one. He said, oh, look, a shooting star. Let me go look. And then you wander away. And I said, yeah, just, pretend your phone's buzzing. And then, oh, I've got to take this call. And then take it. And that's it. You don't have to answer any question. You're not under any obligation to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You haven't been sworn, so why do it? Yeah. Yes, that's right. The vape. Good one, Bear. Uses a vape. Breathe in, mask up, breathe out. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Now, in some experiments, you can sneeze and it'll stop some from traveling a big distance. But it eventually makes it out. And as a virus is almost lighter than air. It's not quite. It's almost lighter than air. Once it gets into the air, it can float around up there, little air, not thermal, but a little upward motion of air and sideways motion of air just keeps it in the air and lands and breathes in or whatever. We are not disconnected from the other life forms on this planet. We are interpenetrated, in and out. We're in and out. and any attempt to pretend that we're not, and to take steps that try to create this impression that we can be separate from this. We cannot. And so we have to put up with it. We eat the meat, and the viruses, or the bacteria and the viruses eat us. And the worms and the amoebas and the parasites and all of this stuff. And the yeasts, they all attack us, and we attack them, and we are in this, symbiotic and times hostile relationship, and this is the way it is. Yeah. Yeah, I know, CJ. Some of it's predictive programming, some of it's just some writers with some ideas. Hard to tell. But we foresaw something like this. James Colbert, great channel. If you don't know him, go check him out. He was talking about medical tyranny way back in 2012. I went through James's stuff way back then, and he's a great researcher, a great organizer of information, and a great speaker on this information. And so, medical tyranny, now we're into it. We can't disagree with, and we don't even know who we don't disagree with. There's no doctor telling us. Name a doctor in this other than Fauci. And he's not he's not doing the research. He's just talker. He's a talker. He's not a researcher. So what researcher do we listen to? Who's giving us the information here? Name the people doing the research. And have them speak. What's wrong with having them speak and answer questions? Yeah, I don't think they're big picture thinkers at all. They're driving us into a quick and sudden decline. I don't know whether we're in a tailspin. I don't know if people know that. There's a tailspin. I saw pictures just a couple of days ago. I don't know whether you saw them, of lineups for food banks. And you see the people in the cars, and this lineup was like a mile long, two lines. What's going on? People waiting for hours and hours and hours for food? For God's sakes, you go out and hunt. You get something faster than that. I don't know. The World Economic Forum people, the Great Reset people, they have said it's a monumental change. And so somebody wants to change this. This is, this is not a big picture thinker that decided to lock down economies for an unproven virus as a pandemic. None of it was proven by modern science, and that's coming out. And nobody's heard of Cox postulates other than on this channel and a few others. You look it up; it's right there. This is the cause and the effect. Nobody's demonstrated it. They demonstrated it for SARS-CoV-1, but not SARS-CoV-2. And that's why we have, 50 symptoms. Anyway, I'm going to bring up some images. I got some images that came up to me this week, and this will be maybe something I'll continue to do if I can remember to do it. Yeah, I saw this one. I thought this one was pretty funny. That here was CNN with race to 270, and again, this is the 2020 election. They're putting Biden at a win already at 290 votes. Believe your eyes. This is called manufacturing an election. Deja vu. Deja vu. This is what they did in 2016, and it was all wrong. It was all a lie. It was all manufactured. We don't know why they're doing this. They should just shut up. Really, these pollsters, they should just shut up. It was wrong before. Now they're claiming it again. And anyway, this one's pretty funny. So we had, this statement on Twitter, right? So the Seattle Independent wrote, I read in the news about the crazy QAnon conspiracy theory. It claims that the world is ruled by pedophiles protected by the media and tech companies. In unrelated news, the media refuses to talk about Hunter Biden's laptop, and tech companies are banning those who do. You know, you can't write this. This is absolutely true, and we see one of those, tech companies, Twitter, ban, a pretty legit newspaper, although I don't believe them either, from even talking about it. You got audio with the guy, you got video with the guy, you got pictures with the guy, you got email with the guy, with other guys confirming it. And yet, they're not talking about it because they want him to win, because they're establishment, and they want the establishment candidate to win, apparently. Unless there's some other explanation. So, crazy stuff, you write something like that, it almost seems too easy to get a cheap joke out of it. And I'm going to put this one up because this is in my nightmare. And I think I'm living in my nightmare now. That we're in an age of invasion of the body snatchers. Except it's not the body. It's the brain. And people's brains are being taken over. We're still just early on coming out of a solar minimum as we approach a grand solar minimum. And maybe some of the cosmic rays will stop as we reach the solar maximum. But there's too many people walking around who are crazy. It's just crazy. And you walk out on the streets and these people are pointing and shrieking. We know that. Women are crazy enough as it is. And with this solar minimum, it's just getting more nuts. And with the police as violence by proxy, there's just, it's nuts. So, welcome to the invasion of the body snatchers. That's where we are. And, anyway, we've got this other image here. And maybe I spoke about this, but this is the South Atlantic magnetic anomaly. Although this is a different picture of it. And there's some movement in here, and a more precise reading gives you these little circle things. And what it looks to me to be is like doorways opening up and closing up down here. So if you don't know anything about the South Atlantic magnetic anomaly, there is a magnetic anomaly here. And because no one can yet explain Earth's magnetic sphere, why Earth has a magnetic field, nobody can explain why there's an anomaly to this, Earth's magnetic field. So all of it is absolutely mysterious. And, I read this paper the other day talking about, I think it was in this one, and they just, and it was, to me, disconcerting that they didn't indicate in the beginning of the paper that they didn't understand what causes Earth's magnetic field. What causes it? They didn't say. They said it's important for a lot of reasons, and then just left it, silent. Well, what causes it? Because you're talking about an anomaly of this, and you don't know what causes the original thing, so you don't know what causes the anomaly. Well, why don't you tell us that you don't understand it? Why don't you just put your name down that we don't understand this? And what we see down at the bottom here is anomalies. And what we see is doorways. And I don't know, what this is, what it means. But we had that funny thing the other day about the measurements of the sun going down. And, of course, the sun has magnetic effects as well, connected to Earth. And then we had that Mayotte incident in November of 2018. And that looked to be a doorway opening right there. So we're having all these anomalies and events that are not explainable. And there's more and more, the strange noises. I don't know. Has anyone out there heard any of these strange noises that you hear? And that are, put on videos? They seem legit. There's so many of them. But hard to tell unless you experience it yourself. And then, something that I never thought I would see is this here. Diversity something and something session. So it was at this library, and you just can't believe what you're reading here. And these people tried to defend it and say, no, we're not being racist, and look at that. So this is just idiocracy. We're in idiocracy. People doing this and saying they're not racist. Yeah, good. And I think the image that's stimulated, you just got to believe your eyes, because they're going to try to gaslight you. The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. This is obviously from George Orwell's 1984. And that's it. That's where we are. That they're asking us to reject the evidence of our eyes and ears. And so we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. And young men are not doing it. And then for the rest of us, older men, we're not doing it either. And now we get to see it with this institutional failure known as COVID-19. And so we've had institutional failure before. There's no accountability when it happens. A lot of people get hurt badly. So, things seem to go around and come around, Santa the Claus. Re-education camps. Apparently, they were talking about it in Canada. Some guy in the Ontario provincial parliament raised the issue. Apparently, it was in a bill, and you didn't have to be sick. And now New Zealand is apparently going to round up everyone. If you have it, they're going to separate you from your family. This seems to be absolute gulag behavior in New Zealand. And is this just the pilot project? I don't know what's going on in New Zealand. This seems to be absolutely untenable. And what New Zealand is doing is what other countries are not doing. And saying we're not doing it because it doesn't work. And New Zealand wants to forge ahead with violence. And yet there's no bodies other than the regular number of bodies that have been diagnosed with many comorbidities, or one, and these old people die, and suddenly it becomes an issue. And still, no one's claiming that from children from birth until 5 years old are dying from this COVID-19 illness. No one's claiming that. If somebody does, it's like 1 out of 162,000. Oh yeah, that proves it. That proves it. Whereas it should be a substantial amount, because, as we know, children from 0 to 5 years old, from birth until 5 years old, are ultimately not in possession of a strong immune system. And so they have to, build up that immune system. And until they do, if something's going around killing people, it's going to kill them. And if something's going around not killing them, well, then it probably won't kill them. And that's what we see. And so, I'd like these doctors, maybe we can get a doctor to come in, Baron Exile, talk to this guy, posted by Dr. Ted Noel. Get him to come on. We'll do an interview with him. Because I got a question to ask or two. Me. I would ask, okay, you got this guy. He's 85 years old. He's been diagnosed with heart disease for 15 years. And then he gets the common cold. And, his doctor knows that. And then, the guy coughs a bunch of times and then has a heart attack and dies. What's the doctor going to put on the death certificate? Dr. Ted Noel, can you tell me? What's the doctor going to put on the health certificate? That he died of a heart attack because he's had long-term heart disease, or he died of the common cold? What is going to put, Dr. Ted Noel? Because I'm going to just say to you, if the doctor puts he died of the common cold and then creates all the Karens in the world saying, oh, my kid's going to die, he's got the common cold, he's going to die, and you start doing this en masse, because the common cold is pretty common. A lot of 85-year-olds with congenital, or not congenital, but with long-term heart disease, a lot of them are going to get the common cold and then die. And if you put that down to the common cold, then you're going to freak out everyone. And then we're going to say, oh, I can't get anywhere now around anyone because, the common cold is so common. Oh, yeah, Baron Exile. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll find it out. Yeah, I should get a doctor on here, although they probably don't want to come on. They probably don't want to come on and be have intelligent questions asked to them. I don't think they want to do that. But this is what I would say, and if I were in Canada, I'd pay a doctor to ask him the question. I'd just go in and ask him the question. What's going on with this? Because if doctors are going to be doing that, if doctors are going to be saying that the common cold is suddenly killing, a lot of people and making everyone freaked out, then these doctors are doing a great disservice to the community. And so this is, I think, an analog to the situation we're in, is that, okay, there may be some illness caused by some SARS-CoV-2 virus. There may be that, but it's not killing people. It doesn't kill children from birth until 5. It doesn't kill anyone. And older people, yeah, they have comorbidities. They die, and they may test positive, and they may actually have it. They have not yet verified the test, and the CDC said it doesn't have a virus. It doesn't have a copy of the virus. So without that, it cannot verify the accuracy of the test. I don't know of a way to verify the accuracy of a test that measures a virus if you don't even have the virus, which means you don't have the virus if you try to take it out of somebody's body to verify that they have that virus in their body. And so there's no way to verify the test. So the test says yes, and you try to find the virus, you can't find the virus. So you have no copy of the virus. So that means you've never found the virus in a body that tests positive for the virus. So none of this is making any sense to me. If you say you have some bacteria in your body, you can get the bacteria out of your body, you have a copy of it. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure whether they do or not, Bear. I've heard that. Is it the fragile people? And if they're fragile, maybe it's the fragility that kills them. If something kills, then it kills everyone. This is what I'm saying. He was killed by a toothpick. Well, for fuck's sake, the toothpick fell on him and gave him a heart attack. Right? Pricking people with toothpicks does not kill people. But you could be pricked by a toothpick, and that little shock sends your heart into a flutter and gives you a heart attack, and then you die. Are you going to say toothpicks kill people? This is what I'm asking. So, all of a sudden people are afraid of toothpicks. They're running around like chickens. Oh, yeah, I know the immune systems are not identical. But, from birth until 5 years old, the immune systems are weak and undeveloped. And if you get something, it should kill you. And I'm not sure about common cold deaths for infants. Let me just check that up. Common cold deaths for infants. I think they're putting it under flu, because it is an influenza. It's a virus. In fact, it is a zoonotic coronavirus. Yeah, you try to get information and you can't get any information. They don't give you any information. And then they say flu-related complications. Yeah. And then, you're not getting any information here. And I'm reading the CDC's page. They just don't tell you anything. So you click through from flu in young children, then you go flu complications, and they don't talk about complications in young children. And then they talk about anyone can get sick with the flu, and serious problems related to the flu can happen. So women, children younger than 5, but especially younger than 2. So again, I'm not sure if it's the common cold. They're not talking about the common cold. They may be talking about some other, worse flu. There's lots of viruses out there. Again, we're not getting any information from the CDC. This is the problem. Yeah. Yes, that's right. No. Sometimes old people, like great-grandfathers, their immune system is tough as hell. And they've been through a whole lot. In fact, that's some of it. They have no other great health problems. Maybe their immune system is like tough as nails. And, yeah. So, yeah, no, immune systems are not a function of age necessarily. Although, from birth until 5, they're weak. They're very weak. And then by 15, they're pretty resilient. And then I think, as long as the rest of your health system is good, then it just builds up. It just builds up. And as long as, I think, you remain healthy and give your body everything it needs, it just keeps on being strong. You gotta keep the, you gotta use it or lose it. So if you start living in a pristinely clean area, then maybe your immune system will not be challenged, and so it won't respond as well. But yeah. But I'm trying to get, the common cold. Is that on anyone's death certificate? Is anyone doing that? Yeah, dengue hemorrhagic. That's my next one. I had dengue a while ago. About, 4 weeks ago. I had dengue for the first time, and it was nasty. Okay, so... yeah, the next time you get it, it becomes dengue hemorrhagic, and it has a 25% death rate. The first time, it's a 2.5% death rate, and again, that's going to take out those with, weaknesses somewhere. But again, it'll take out other people too, so it kills. Hey, Mgtow Economy, welcome everyone. Armchair Revolutionary, welcome. Stone Reaper, how are you doing? How are you doing, Stone? Great to have you in. And Stone Reaper is a good man to keep on top of things. And, we're coming down to the wire. It's, 3-4 days now before the election, and all hell breaks loose, maybe. And, the effort put in to destroy America before this election happens, I can't believe it. The riots in the streets, manufactured, and it's mostly Democratic states and cities. My God, what are they doing to themselves? And then the lockdown with the masks. And, this is absolute confusion and mayhem. All, I believe, to try to say Trump's not a good president and don't elect him again. Elect a guy who stands up in front of the Council on Foreign Relations and says, yeah, I got a guy fired who was investigating my company my son sits on the board of. Yeah, my son, my good son. gets $50,000 a month, has got no experience. That's how good my son is. He's got no experience, and they still want him. And so I said I wasn't going to, approve the $1 billion in aid to this country unless they fired this guy investigating my son's company. Yeah, I'm a good man. Elect me president. Yeah. Yeah, my God, this vote couldn't be easier. Even if you think there's nothing to it, I don't. At this point, if you vote for Joe Biden, you're inviting the absolute worst that America can produce. A history of corruption, lies, and then, putting his son into a position where he gets all this money and does all this bad stuff and has no control over himself. And, ultimately, it's like they're asking for people to look at the establishment and say, maybe this is all just make believe, and maybe this is Trump said drain the swamp, so maybe this is just a dog and pony show, and that they're not really draining the swamp. They're just sort of making it appear as though they're draining the swamp. The FISA court is still there. The DOJ won't admit that it threatened Flynn and his son. So, they're not willing to go the whole way and clean up. So, maybe nobody will. So, yeah. Yeah, I had dengue. And I'm not a young man, but I just said, fuck it. I shrugged it off. I laid in bed for a couple of days. And it was a bad couple of days, I gotta say. But after that, fuck it. Anyway, it's tricky sometimes living in the tropics. There's a lot of things floating around. Nothing ever dies. And, yes. My God, that's a great line, Aaron. That's a great line. And, the problem is, if he succeeds, what's America? What does America come to? This is embarrassing. It's bad enough being a Canadian being completely embarrassed. Canadians are losing all composure. And, but to make it into a banana republic. Yeah. In one short lifetime, when I was young, America was in no way anywhere close to being a banana republic. It had done some bad things, but it had done some good things. And you thought, on balance, okay. It's producing greatness, and it finds out its errors and eventually corrects them, and it's moving ahead. It's trying to reach the lofty goals established by the founding fathers. Okay. So this is the path, and now it's not. It's not even trying to do it. It has control over the media by Big Pharma and the deep state and the military-industrial complex, and the media is, obviously attempting to support their globalist aspirations, at least of the, their donors. The purpose of television channels and all this stuff is to bring people to advertisers. It's to sell people to advertisers. And that's something that this channel proudly does not do. I think I allowed advertisements. It was never monetized and will not be. But I think I allowed advertisers in the beginning thinking, okay, I'm using the platform. The guys who made the code deserve to be paid. Right? So I thought that. Now I don't even know, because, my God, if you're working for this evil organization, it'd be better to see YouTube, screw up its coding so bad that it can't put up any videos, and everyone would move to BitChute. That I see as a better outcome. So if you're working for YouTube, fuck it. Just, fuck it. Who cares? Yeah. So I think that, though, the institutional failure, the systemic failure surrounding the coronavirus incident will come out, and then there'll be all hell to pay. People will, the media will have to talk about some of it at least, and then all the Karens and all the, people who were asleep are going to say, "What? You mean really? There was no deaths? There's not a county anywhere in America, Canada, anywhere where there's like lots of people dying? All it was mathematical models put into numbers to bolster the numbers." And so, this appears to be going on. And no one can point to a county with the death certificates reflecting any type of spike in deaths or anything. So this is going to come out. It's eventually going to come out. And I think, regardless of what YouTube does or Twitter does, any of them. You hear people on Spotify upset with Joe Rogan having Alex Jones on, and the reason was always anti-vaccine that I read. What was it? Like, they just get one story and go around? Is that the worst Alex Jones is talking about? No. He's talking about a lot of things, but maybe in this current environment where they want to get everyone a vaccination to do something that I don't know. Is it an RFID chip? Is it other bots, nanobots? I don't know. Or just a compliance. You will comply with a mandatory vaccine whether you want to or not. Everyone. Within a 2-month period. Then they can junk people up at any time they want. Now, into the future. And, this is going to be it. They're going to line people up and inject them with shit. And, a little bit of mercury to the brain. It really doesn't hurt because we don't need you anyway. You're a useless eater. Take a little mercury to the brain. I want to hear a doctor say injecting mercury into small children is good. I want to hear that statement come out of their mouths. Yeah. Yeah. There was a lot about the that shooting that was has questions about it. It has legitimate questions about that Sandy Hook shooting. There are legitimate questions. Yeah. And fetuses. Yeah, it's good to inject a fetus with mercury. We're into evil now. Of all the worst of possible worlds, we have doctors saying it's good to inject fetuses with mercury. My God, it's a sick, 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 sick world. It's a mad world. It's a sick world. It's a world that we want to live in together. Yeah. And in fact, I think there's a war. I think community now is war. It's no longer a place of safety. It's no longer a place of belonging. It's just war. It's not a shooting war, but it's an injecting war. It's a cancel culture war. It's a shaming war, an insulting war. And this war is, happening, and people are trying to hide it. And this creates cognitive dissonance. And the only way to deal with cognitive dissonance is to take the psychiatric pills. And so apparently now we've got 40% of people are so freaked out that they can't make it through the day without a happy pill. And this is tragic, really, when a community cannot deal with reality. It needs to reevaluate what it's doing. At some point, some people just go nuts and not sorry. And there was some cases of this. There were what they call them insane asylums, and they had no way to treat these people. But there weren't that many. They were nasty places, and they could have been. These people could have been created by gaslighting. because psychopaths and narcissists and Machiavellians and all those who tend to do gaslighting, they've existed forever. We've had this dark triangle forever, right? And books and descriptions about people who do this are available going all the way back through time. And so, yeah, Orkney Mgtow, that's it. Sit back and enjoy the decline. There's nothing we can do if these people want to really take it down. And I think that, at this point, there's no point in going out and doing anything active. Although I'm going to say that in an information war, it's good to get out and give your 2 cents on those issues that you want to add to, and put a momentum in the information war in a certain direction. I think there is something to having a constellation of people believe in a certain idea. I think that there is power in having more people follow a certain idea. And if you put a little friction in the idea of the opposition, then it's putting a little, wrench in the cogs or something like that. So if you can do that, if you can put a wrench in the cogs, then the Leviathan, that instigator of the control system, it cannot attack out because it's a wrench in the cogs. It doesn't know what to do and has some trouble working around it. So if you can throw a wrench in the cog, do it. And again, I think putting a wrench in the cog is similar to putting a little bit of water into the powder keg. So if you can dump a glass full of water into the powder keg, that's probably a good thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. But wet powder doesn't explode. So if we can put some water into the powder keg, which does have, at this point, a very short fuse. Google, Twitter, Facebook, and now MailChimp, and all the establishment, globalist, corporatist media, except maybe Fox News, and they're doing that, I believe, reluctantly. And apparently, and I don't know what to make of this, did anyone hear this? Tucker Carlson sent a package to support an interview he was doing in California by UPS, and the envelope was opened and the notes were taken out. They finally found the notes, but they're not saying what happened. This is quite an interesting story. Did somebody open it and then photocopy it and give it to somebody? And again, why isn't UPS coming clean and as to what the hell happened? Here we have a lack of accountability. Maybe, they don't have to come out in total, and, they always want to hold back a piece of information to confirm the situation. But at some point, you got to tell people, like, how in the fuck did you let a package get opened? Who in the fuck are you to open other people's packages? Right? If you can't run the fucking system where you can't can't have your employees or someone not open packages, then maybe you shouldn't be running a package delivery company. Maybe you should be, a thief. So, this is not good for UPS. They're I think, embarrassed. But again, it could have been the CIA. Who knows? And if that's the case, maybe they don't want to talk about it because they're scared. It's the CIA or FBI or one of them, one of the alphabet agencies. They wanted to see it. In which case, that's probably not good. Why wouldn't they just quickly take it out, take the photos and put it back in? Nobody knows the difference. Hey, it's Reverend 20-Piece. Welcome. How you doing? Nice to see you here. We're just talking about what we see with our eyes. And, I didn't see this incident with my eyes. I don't know. I find it interesting that it would come out, true or false. Why would they be talking about this? And again, he apparently, well, not apparently, this is on tape, he interviewed this Bobulinski guy who claims, and I guess it's admitted, as an operative within the Biden family, to confirm a lot of those emails that involve, corruption or intrigue or money, at least, passing through the Biden's bank accounts, and now we have Biden being friendly to the Chinese. One wonders why, because you can betcha any company that says, "Oh yeah, we're in touch with the Vice President of the United States through his son," that the Chinese government's going to approve or not approve of it. It's a communist country. How many people? I want to do a survey here. How many people here believe what government workers in a communist country say? Does anyone believe that? Okay, Lamprey, you got a story. I got a story. And by the way, put up your link for your newspaper articles, which are very well written, fun, informative, and at times jarring. Let's say, yeah. So, yeah, what gang are you willing to join? Yeah. What gang are you willing to join? Yes. I want to join the gang where I'm able to speak freely. So, if you got a gang leader, or leaders, so, yes. See, I'm the same way, Bear. And I think we got that confirmed. When the wall came down in 1989, I remember hearing stories filter out, this and that, about former government officials saying, yeah, we were lying the whole time. Basically, everything that they said was a lie, and they admitted it. And they said, we said those lies because we had to, because we were in a communist government. If we didn't say it, then we'd get in trouble and lose and maybe go into a gulag. Yeah. So, yeah, this is it. This is it, Orkney. This is the structure, I believe, of the delusion that an abstract idea, which looks great on paper, cannot be put into practice. Yeah. Okay, here we got a story from Lamprey Milt. I did 3 interviews with Steve Hoka. We hit it off and had a great time. Yeah, I think he's probably a great guy. He has the interests of men at heart. And in his own comments, he decided to delete half the comments and made a sock puppet account to troll me. Oh, man. That's weird. How do you know it was his sock puppet account? Or maybe he's just drumming up, hype. Maybe he's just drumming up hype. I can't figure out whether somebody's account is a sock puppet account. Somebody recommended that I bring Steve Hoka on here. I don't know. I've made a couple of, barbing comments on his videos. He's never offered to respond to me. So, yeah. Yeah, I think Santa the Claus. Are we looking at America is actually now communist, and we're having a battle within a communist faction? There are people who sort of put it in those terms. The media is information which is controlled and top down. If you speak against that, you are sidelined and cancel cultured. They invent issues that you have to talk about. Like transgenderism, which who in the fuck thinks that's important? And yeah, that's right. If you were a wealthy Roman, the fall of the Roman Empire, the Western Roman Empire, in let's say 453, was bad news. But for some people, yeah, they're turned into be like war bands and stuff, and the barbarians came through. But if you're just a regular guy, maybe you did okay. I'm just a farmer. Leave me alone. Okay. You got new rulership now. Whatever. The Germanic tribes of the period. Yeah, they weren't bad. Yeah. Yes, see, Jordan Maxwell would be into that. Yeah. And he's not the only one. And so it was a hidden coup. I'm not even, I think I just made that term up. A hidden coup. A hidden communist coup. And, maybe somebody's trying to take it back. But what we see is unsustainable, and what we saw in the Soviet Union was unsustainable. And what we see in China is also unsustainable. They're on the teat of America and much of the world, trying to suck in resources. But within China, they're unable to generate any type of excitement. And, they have no freedom, so they can't build anything. And so nothing seems to work sort of correctly. And we're seeing now some issues. I didn't read anything this week, but apparently they're into a food crisis situation. They're talking about a food crisis. Like clean your plate, like a slogan. You got to clean your plate. So. Yeah, Reverend 20 Piece. I thought he might have been eccentric, but if he's doing that to Lamprey, that's weird. And you did some interviews. He deleted some of his comments and made a sock puppet account. That's weird. I don't know how you can verify the sock puppet account. But, if anyone wants to contact Steve and bring him on, we'll have a chat, because obviously I'm sympathetic to the incels. However, I think there's a way out. I think once you find a self-identity, once you know who you are, once you can build upon even just the loosest thread of self-identity with a little Mgtow awareness that you have been stripped down as a man. You have been denied and refused the ability to be strong, to find yourself. But if you have had a success, then you know what it's like, and that's waiting for you. It's not a success in someone else's eyes. It's a success in your eyes. So if you said, fuck you to the teacher, and you felt good, you a man. That's it. And okay, maybe you got in trouble, and maybe everyone said, oh, you did bad. Fuck them. Maybe it was right to say fuck off. And that's it. And we used to say, okay, he's a little uppity, and maybe he was wrong to say it, or maybe he was right. But he said it. Okay, maybe he's got to be punished, but maybe the punishment's wrong. And some people would say the punishment might have been wrong. Anyone who's looking out for the best interests of the kid and looks at things from the kid's perspective, maybe the kid was right and the adults are wrong. That happens. And we know it happens a lot in school, because that ADHD diagnosis, anyone who gets that, anyone who does that, anyone who falls into that, when the guy who invented it said, it's not real. The guy who invented it said, it's not real, and everyone else seems to be running with the ball, unaware that, the guy who said it's not real, who invented it, says it's not real, well, why am I running with a fucking invisible ball down the field thinking I'm going to get a touchdown? You a fucking idiot. The reason why young boys act up in class is because they're bored with weak women trying to run the class, and these women can't run anything. They can't run boys with a little bit of testosterone. God help them. And this is the problem. Get the boys out of the schools. So, the gaslighting happened a long time ago, Lamprey. And this is part of it. Believe your eyes. Don't believe the gaslighting that's going on. Yeah. It fell to the barbarians. Well, the barbarians were invited. They were inside the gates. The barbarians were inside the gates. And the Romans themselves became demoralized, right? They became demoralized. We hear stories about laws that were passed. And finally they said, I ain't putting up with this. I'm running for the hills. Run for the hills. Yeah, no, we don't want civilization to fall. It'd be a piss off, you know. There's good stuff here, and we could recalibrate somehow, but if they're not going to allow people to talk, it's impossible to recalibrate. And, if somebody says it's not true, well, then maybe it's right. If somebody says it's true, maybe it's right. You got to check. At some point, you have to check. You got to check and believe your eyes. And if you can't, then, well, you put it on a I'm not sure category, right? You put it in I'm not sure. And, this is what we're doing. Incel, as I just put up a new screen share. I got to do a new one. I should do a new one. I've been distracted. In fact, I'm totally distracted. I'm absolutely distracted by all the insanity I see. Yeah, I did. In fact, I mentioned the Great Reset and what they're doing. They want to, introduce with this Great Reset or in Industrial Revolution 4.0, and they have all these, flowery words. I think, their first statement about a monumental, destruction of the economy and a monumental change. I think that's true, and I'm sort of thinking some of them are scared, because as we just got right above from Bear, was it Bear? About the rich when the Roman Republic, Roman Empire failed, the rich suffered. So I think people in the WEF, World Economic Forum, are a little freaked out because they see things changing that's slightly out of their control or totally out of their control. So, yeah. So maybe they're trying to, figure out who they have to appease them in order to get things back on track. But maybe it's not. Maybe it won't be. As I say, I think we're in a tailspin. It has not landed. It has not landed. There are people who are not working, who got no money, and they're ready to riot. And Pelosi prevented them from getting money, so maybe she wants them to riot. Oh yeah, that's the song, Reverend. Run to the hills. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, go look at the World Economic Forum and their Great Reset. You can get no real information. They put out one document for businesses, but as to their corporatist, globalist, political enterprise, yeah, they're appealing to the United Nations. So anyone who appeals to the United Nations for guidance is appealing to an unaccountable institution. They are unaccountable. They're not elected. They represent member states. They don't represent people. They don't even care to represent people. And so, yeah. So I think that some people are banking on a future for the world that looks Soviet or Chinese. You got the social credit system, in which case I would be placed down at the very bottom. I would lose because I'm asking questions. You cannot ask questions. You cannot say that something is bad if somebody from the elite says it's good. This is just this is Soviet. This is totalitarian. If somebody from the elite says it's yes, and you ask to show why it's yes, so I can see it with my eyes, suddenly, you're bad. And that, if they refuse to show it, it's still yes, and you can't change it. So, and again, they can rewrite history. They're rewriting dictionaries overnight. This is insanity itself. You cannot do that to dictionaries. They tried it with men and women, and that's part of the confusion, is that old people think, man and male is interchangeable, as it was in my whole life up until, about 10 years ago or something. It sort of flipped over, and all the young people think it's different. And anyone my age or older, and even younger people, think it's exactly the same thing. And so they're, following along this understanding created by John Money, and they're redefining words. These words have been synonyms for hundreds of years. You can't change it in one generation, you bastards, you idiots. And get upset with people when they don't know your sudden new definition because they're not on Twitter. Why don't you read a book once in a while and say, well, maybe I shouldn't change a definition of a word that's been a synonym for 300 years and change it in one generation? Who in the fuck do I think I am to do that? Well, you're an evil bitch. That's who in the hell you are. Leave words alone. Let them evolve slowly. And major words, you got to have it slow. And you can't say to people that they're evil if they don't know this sudden new definition. This is wrong. 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 And yet we have these petulant children who are on psychiatric pills screeching. If you say, no, you're not changing this word without discussion with other people. And everything that it means. Yeah, newspeak. Well, we're in it. We're in it. Where was... do I have the picture? No, I don't have the picture. I got it somewhere. Maybe I'll try to dig it out, but... whoops. No, I don't think I have it. Okay, let me... see if I can dig it up. The Merriam-Webster dictionary thing where they changed it overnight. I forget where I put it. I don't think I can get it. Yeah, I don't think I can get it. I forget where I filed it. Anyway, we've got... we got Merriam-Webster changing the dictionary definition of words overnight. Because somebody said something in a Senate testimony, Hirono, and then they had to make sure that it was in the dictionary. And it was still there the last time I checked. And so this is untenable. You think they're solipsistic, Santa Claus. Santa Claus. I think so too. Solipsism is extreme narcissism. In fact, the original term, the original thinking on this is solipsism, where you believe that you are the only conscious entity in the universe, and that the universe is here at your disposal. So you want to do it one way, then the whole universe is changed for that. Or the universe is a test for only you, and everyone else is just here to help you along that road of this test. Anything you try to do to disprove that for a solipsistic mind merely gets enclosed within that thinking. And it's obviously, if you hold to it, it's a debilitating paranoia, and would be termed by a psychologist to be a mental illness. For a philosopher, it's just a logical creation that's you can't prove against it. So there's no way to prove against it. So you just accept I can't prove it, but there's lots of things you can't prove. Everything I say is a lie. Well, you can't unprove that, It's just a little funny thing about the universe. So solipsism is extreme gynocentrism. I'm not sure if women are solipsistic. I think they recognize that other people are independent, and yet they want to have all resources and attention come to them. Because if they don't get it, then they die. So that's an evolutionary little thing for them. But yeah, I'm going to say they're mildly solipsistic as a function of their evolutionary biology. And that plays out into narcissism. We can just say they're narcissistic. And narcissists say, I deserve everything because I'm just so great. And, there's predatory narcissists who are sort of psychopathic. I'm the greatest and nobody else is worth anything. Or I'm the greatest and other people are worth something, so I got to leave something for them. Two different types of narcissists, at least. So, avoid narcissists. Avoid their codependency. It's an extreme situation. And that means basically avoid women. Because unless they're very aware of their nature, then they can't control it. And thus they need that 300th pair of shoes. They need that 50th Gucci bag. And this is a function of when they're vulnerable during during and after childbirth, they have to be gynocentric. And if they don't have strong gynocentric urges, then they're going to die, the baby's going to die, and the genes aren't going to be passed on. So they do this. That's why they trap men, and they trap the most powerful man. And the most powerful man is the man who will not fly into the cage willingly. So they like the bad boys. They like the movers and shakers. And, but not every man in any community is going to be a mover and shaker. You can only have so many movers and shakers. If you got too many movers and shakers, you don't have a community. At some point you move and shake a little bit here, and you allow somebody to move and shake over there. And, but if everyone's moving and shaking the community, maybe you got what you got now. Maybe you got too many, people with power and agendas trying to move and shake. And people are moving too quickly and changing their ideas too quickly. And thus we have, destabilization. And it's manufactured because we got too many people moving and shaking for whatever reason, trying to move and shake the community to their own benefits. So we need stability. Mgtow is that stability where each man decides what he's going to do, and thus will not be moving or shaken by, the wants and wills of other people. Sometimes you go in a direction that other people say is good. Well, sometimes it is good, and you just go in that direction. And, that's right, Orkney. You ain't American. Yeah, how are things down below, sort of underneath, down below? And we hear bad news, but all news is not correct news. That's what I think we can take away. So, yeah, I've been thinking about that, Bear. It's a rotting corpse of a civilization. I foresee some division of America, where you've got, the urban centers on the coasts, sort of trying to go their own way, and then, the heartland, which is, red. When you see the election, and you see the landslide on a county by county basis for the Republicans in the last election, and you see the same urban-rural breakdown in the UK election and Brexit, and in the Austrian election, and in the French, Yellow Jacket protest, that we're seeing, a breakdown between the urban and the rural. So the rural doesn't need the urban, and so go off into the countryside. And the cities are becoming unlivable, and I think they're doing what Pol Pot did. They're emptying the cities. I think this is what the World Economic Forum fears. A lot of the wealth generation can happen and centralize money in real estate prices in cities. But if people are working from home, if you can work from the countryside, then all of a sudden opportunities to centralize wealth and rent seeking, You pay what, $2,000 a month for an apartment in Manhattan or something, and you pay $300 in some, small town somewhere for a much nicer place. So, And this is not, this is not tenable for the oligarchs to have an emptying of the cities. So I think the World Economic Forum is a little scared. And, oh no, I haven't heard of that. Oh my. What's going on in Virginia? Forced vaccinations. Yes, that's right. They're calling it the Fourth Industrial Revolution, which is, online tech revolution. And we are part of it, actually. This hangout, dealing with the YouTube situation, the Mgtow community and YouTube and other virtual spaces. This is part of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And it's also called a network society. And the network, in this case, is facilitated by the internet. And so in the network society, there are big nodes and small nodes. And this one here is a nice small node. And all the men here, all you guys, go out. And you have another node somewhere else and another node somewhere else. And so something important from anywhere can make it in here and then go out again. And, they're not going to shut this down. I'm too small. This channel's too small. And yet, at the same time, there's 6 degrees of separation. Ooh, wow. Yeah. Well, he better double think that. He better double think injecting people against their wills. Yeah. I'm not sure what that Firebase means. Of Google Firebase. But I think something's going on as well, in that the AI that Google and other of these publishers, let's say, the AI that helps them manage it seems to be slightly out of control. And by slightly, I don't know what I mean. But out of control, it seems to be that the AI is making decisions that humans would not. And that because there's so many people posting, and because they're so fucking greedy, and because they're so evil, that they're closing down everything. And that they're overriding. You get 3,000 likes and 2 people decide to say, well, I'm going to override 3,000 likes. I think you should have to have 3,000 people say no, if 3,000 people say yes. This is a reasonable thing for a community. If there's community support for this idea, then, and if you take one sentence out and say, do 3,000 people agree with this sentence? Well, maybe not. And so maybe you say, well, remove the sentence and leave it up. Okay. This is the Santa Clara principles. If you're going to claim somebody's violated some standards of decency, you have to tell them exactly what they say, exactly the picture that they've shown. And then you can put that up in front of a quick little, fourth Industrial Revolution tribunal, and people will, vote up and down. Get enough down votes, okay, maybe take it off. I don't want to see people do certain things to animals. I don't want to see that. Okay, do they have the right to do it? Yeah, but I don't think we need to see it. Do they have a right to show it? I'm not sure whether that right is absolute, but, what's the value in doing it? There's no value in putting it up other than this guy wants to create shit. Well, shit to servers for no value. There's no value to what he's doing. Then again, you post how you make sausage up online. You have to leave it there, right? You eat hot dogs, you eat sausages, so, maybe some utterly horrible, degrading act done to an animal has to be left in because, we kill them, we grind them up into sausages, and then, take me out to the ball game. Take me out for the ground up animals in a bun. Wow, why don't we just call it that? Ground up animals in a bun. I think I'm going really off here. I like hot dogs. What the hell? In fact, who was I talking to the other day? the animals eat us, right? The bacteria, viruses, amoebas, parasites, worms, they'll all attack us and eat us and whatever. We get in the ground and they'll eat us. They'll even begin eating us when we're alive and kill us. And so, yeah, we kill and eat. They kill and eat. It's a dog-eat-dog world, I guess. And the thing to just realize is that we are interpenetrated with life. We cannot escape that. And use your eyes. This is visible to see. You cannot, we've got, 3 kilograms of other non-human life forms living in our stomach, most of it, and other places in our body. And some of it we need to live, and others is who cares, and some of it's bad. But we're not ever alone. We're interconnected here. Well, thanks, Reverend. Yeah, you too, and all of us together. Yeah, we're just here on on the listening post, keeping the lines open, and that's it. And if enough men do this, well, we don't need the big channels. But it's nice to have them. They're doing a good job. They're putting a lot of energy in. We know how much work it takes to put up a video, to do the research, and to do it. And for the last little while, I've not had the time and energy. I've been distracted, other things, major things. And but this is it. No, this is the fight. This is the information war. We're part of it. And, we've had some large successes, and we're just going to keep on going up. Anyone have questions? Anyone drops in? You're going to get truthful opinions, as truthful as I can give them, as the men here in the chat can give them. You got a question, we'll give you what we think. We don't care. We don't give a shit. We'll tell you what we think. We think Alex Jones is great. Does he make a mistake? I don't know, but very rarely, if ever. You check him up, my God, he's right. What the fuck is he wrong about? Maybe he is. I've been wrong myself, but I can't find anything. When we found out that, what's her name, Gloria Steinem worked for the CIA, I said, that's fucking not real. You check it up? Yeah, she did. And she knew about it. And kept on working for him. Bitch. Yeah, that's, this is how to destroy, a culture, how to destroy the community. And she was working for the CIA. Why does the CIA want it destroyed? Well, they're part of the larger agenda. And they just want total control. They want people talking about what they want to talk about, not what people want to talk about. So, yeah. Frankfurters from, apparently it didn't come from the city of Frankfurt, but from a guy who came from Frankfurt. So the people had emigrated to America. I think they were first generation. And that's it. Yep. So that was my last reading on it, my memory of my last reading. But yeah, this is it. American cuisine. And, I guess the New York pizza is thin crust. I always thought, American pizza was thick crust and the Italian was thin. But, I like the thick crust pizza, although it's hard to get it where I am. They go for the Italian. But anyway, different strokes for different folks, and that's all well and good. But when the CIA, and this came out in the Church Commission report, they embedded people into the media, and they were supposed to have fixed it, but they didn't. And now they're still embedded. And you can't say anything on the mass media unless the CIA approves of it, apparently. And this is an issue. American media, mass media, establishment media is not of the people, by the people, for the people. It's of the establishment, by the establishment, for the establishment. And they're trying, I think part of this COVID thing is that they're trying to reestablish relevance. They had lost some relevance because they blew the last election. So the COVID thing, I think, caused people to want to trust the media because the media was there to help. It's there to protect you. You got to take these precautions. We love you. And Trump is bad. And you're going to vote Biden. And we love you. And bad. And we have to help the people rioting, protesting peacefully, not rioting. That was a mistake, sorry. and we have to help. Yeah. Yeah, blood sausage, good for the blood. And it gives you things if you, if you eat parts of mammals that you have a weakness in, you'll strengthen it. Apparently, there's structures that will carry over between mammals. We're all, 90% similar in our DNA? Or 80% or something? I don't know. How close are we to, what's the furthest away mammal? A bat or something? I don't know. But there's a lot of similarity. So if you're having trouble with your liver, eat mammal liver. If you're having trouble with your heart, eat mammal heart. If you're having trouble with your eyes, nothing like popping a goat's eye every once in a while. Good. Blood first. Yeah, don't know what. Yeah. Blood pudding. Didn't I? Head cheese and blood pudding. I ate some of that growing up. I think it just needs a new marketing campaign. You want to think about gravy. Why do they call it gravy sausage? Made with gravy. If they called it gravy sausage, holy shit, people would love it. See, Bear? Just marketing. Little flip on this. Oh, I see. Don't know the furthest mammal from us. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be different more than like 4% DNA or something. I think we're all pretty close. But yeah, would anyone want to go for a gravy sausage? I think that'd be great. Aaron, my God. I eat what I always eat. I make a suggestion. Most of the time I get it. No trouble. Although, sometimes there's delays, but sometimes the delays are reasonable. That's life. But, I used to cook for myself, obviously. I was single and freewheeling, living on my own from, 22 until, 36 or something. So I had all the time in the world to become a fine cook, and I was. In fact, I had to cook for the first number of years in order to instruct. But, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bonobos. And some of them seem to be symbolic. They can get some symbol there, which means they can sort of think. So, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. I'm not a prude, but I'm saying, okay, bonobos may be pretty close to us, but they're not really thinking about their world. They're just operating on instinct. And if humans only operated on instinct, we would not have the internet. I'm pretty clear on that one. I'm pretty confident, rather, on that. If we just operated like the bonobo, we'd be the bonobo. So, yeah, now we're talking. Gravy, oh gravy on them lamb fries. That sounds like a winner. Put that on the menu. Woohoo! Man, I'm getting hungry suddenly. Talking about what might be prepared. Yeah, we are interpenetrated with all of the different creatures on this planet. I think the plants too, as well. Aren't they part of the same DNA set? In any case, we're interpenetrated. Behaviors, I don't know whether to go for, behavioral studies based upon animal behavior, but there are some similarities. Certainly, anything we don't control, like who am I thinking? Oh God. Oh, the name's right there on my tongue. You know, you ring the bell and the dog salivas. Pavlov. There we go. Pavlov. It was right there. Yeah, the Pavlov thing. We're close to animals, but otherwise, no. You know, you can have the bell. You can have the bell ring. You can have the saliva. You can have the actual food in front of you. But if you're a dog, you're going to eat it. If you're a human, you can say, "Oh yeah, I'm really hungry. Oh yeah, my mouth's saliving, but I'm not going to eat it. Why? Because I'm not going to give in to my instincts. I'm just going to play around. I'm going to have fun. I'm really hungry. My mouth's saliving. The food's there. It looks great. It's gravy, oh gravy on lamb fries, but I'm not going to eat it." So, you're in control. Ultimately, humans are in control. This is discipline. This is maybe stoicism if you want to toughen yourself up, become the Spartan. Become the inner Spartan for a day, you know, and just have fun with it. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's right. Some deserving person, and there's a lot of them. Yeah. But, you know, I don't think Cardi B would have any problem having sex with a bonobo. What do you think? Cardi B and a bonobo, you know, she seems to like to gulp it down from whoever and whatever and whenever. You know, suppose, you know, they'd pay her big money, and so she'd, get what she wants. He's that brand new car. She doesn't care what she has to do for that brand new car. Yes. Ooh, I don't know about lingonberries. What the hell is a lingonberry? I'm up for it, but there's lots of different berries out there. Yep. Oh, I see something like that. Who is Cardi B? Yeah, Aaron. Who is Cardi B? Cardi B is this chunky, let's say, but well angled black woman who's a rapper who got to be pretty famous, and then she recently put out a song called W.A.P. and that means wet ass pussy. And what that means, oh yeah, maybe that too. She was involved somehow in that. But this song, W.A.P., is absolute filth. And it was number one on Spotify, number one around the world. And, no talent musician. She's a rapper. But this one went to, number one for a long time. And we can think about all the 12-year-old girls memorizing and reciting the lyrics. Sick. Yeah, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Or maybe a month ago now. When it sort of first hit the general consciousness that this sort of sickness makes it to number one in music. Yes, indeed. And in fact, I think she was convicted of, or she's accused of, or is known for, like, getting this guy on the date and then getting two other people to beat the guy up and take his money. What's that, date robbery? Or what the hell do you call that? Well, I think that's the question, Baron Exile. There's a mind, or there's a brain. You got the brain, so obviously we have the evolutionary biological drives to get resources and to do whatever you have to get it for women. But, how would you mess with it? You can't mess with it. She's on programming. get money from men, and that's it. Or even get money from women. I think they're pretty predatory against each other too. I don't know who the Paul brothers. Have I missed the Paul brothers? Yeah. Yes, that's right. Cardi B. And the thing about Cardi B, she had the top song, which is, you know, a call to prostitution. And then she interviewed Joe Biden just before his first debate. Why would she be the one to interview a man who wants to be president? That struck me as odd. And, you know, after Ben Shapiro was one of the main ones to talk about this song that I saw. Then the left came out and was talking about how, it's okay to say that in the song. And one guy had this woman on, but she didn't mention any of the lyrics. And I was sort of hoping she'd say, "Oh yeah, I like to say I gulp it down all the time," but she wouldn't say it. She didn't defend the lyrics at all. Yeah, it's not sporting. It's not sporting. Yeah, I don't know, Aaron. I think a lot of these celebrities are, they've been taken down the path by the establishment media. Oh, I see Mgtow Smurf, thanks. She admitted on live video, drugging and robbing men when life was too hard for her. Jesus, what a piece of work. Anyway, we got 4 days. And I'm thinking about doing something for the the final call. I don't know when that's going to happen, of the election, and to see what's going to go on. I'm definitely going to be watching it, and hopefully we haven't had a tech problem yet today. Knock on wood. There, I just knocked on wood. Ow, fucking hurt. Anyway, yeah. So if the tech goes good. Oh, I see Forrest Burns. That's great. It's a conservative song. Women are good for this, and therefore this has been done by women for centuries. Therefore, Cardi B is a conservative woman. Man, oh man, I love that. She is trash. Yes. And, not that you would, not that you should, but in a different age, if anyone came and, say some woman came and wanted to defend Cardi B, then you just look at her and say, "I know, you like to gulp it down too, don't you, baby? You want to lay down by my side, baby? You want to lay down by my side? Ooh, baby, gulp it down. Yo, girl, you go, girl, gulp it down." And then, she looks at you and just say, "You get paid after you gulp it down? Is that what you like? You like to think about getting paid?" You would definitely never, ever say that, right? That's not MGTOW ghosting at all. But, Thanks, Smurf. We got the video here. Cardi B admits to drugging, robbing men years ago. Well, she was a dancer. So that was it. She was a dancer. I don't think she was a prostitute, but, some of them just skirt the line anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, no, I wasn't suggesting that. But, some woman comes up and, my God, you could have a lot of fun. Oh, yeah. Reverend, 20-piece conserves. I don't think there's anything left to conserve, or has been for a long time. Aaron, what just happened in Bolivia? They returned to socialism. When was this? I didn't hear anything about it. Wow. It was like October 18th. I can't make any sense of it. There was a party, MDS, before that had the presidency. So the MASIPSP party is the socialist one, are they? I sort of like the guy that was previous to... Oh, yeah, Evo Morales. I sort of like that guy. What party was he in? Yeah, the MAS party. So... Oh, yeah, so the MAS party is in power now. So... I don't know. I don't think it's the end of democracy. Bolivia had problems in land ownership that stemmed from problems in the past. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Aaron. There's issues down there. This is a problem. Well, thanks for dropping in, Reverend. Have a good one. Sweet dreams. You can dream about Cardi B. Yeah. 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 Anyway, I'm not sure about whether Bolivia failed. They tried to straighten out some things. There were some good things happening, bad things. But I think some of these socialist guys are just anti-establishment. And to that extent, they're, hated by the establishment and called bad names. Some of them are bad. Like I thought Chavez was bad. Anti-establishment, yes, but then bad on top of it. Yeah, well, that same socialist road, it doesn't go very far before it devolves. Oh, I like that Baron Exile. From Debussy to Cardi B in little over a century. Oh God, that's like poetry. That's poetry. Oh man, that's just. I have to stop and let that sink in. Yeah. And the only thing to say about it is the crazy train has no brakes. The crazy train has no engineer. Well, um, we're looking at another I don't know 4 days, and then the crazy train is going to make a stop, and somebody's going to get on, and then somebody's going to get off, and then somebody's going to get on. But there may be mayhem at the station. Oh, there's a good one. Mayhem at the station. Santa Claus, smart. Mgtow Ghost, level 4. Was he in here? I think he was. Wasn't he in here? What did he do? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, maybe somebody should have a mask with a picture of like a big door and of a little mouse. And you know, a line to the mouse saying virus, and a hole and a line to the door saying hole in mask. You know, and walk around like that. And then say, welcome to Idiocracy. Oh, that's a good design. I like that one. Welcome to Idiocracy. I don't have to wear a mask when I live, really. The only time I have to do it is if I go into the big town, and I haven't been in there in a month. He banned you from the store? Jesus. Having asthma made you an asshole and then banned you from the store. Man, that's a prick move. What are the asthmatic associations saying about this? I haven't heard anything. first of all, they weren't very vocal when the whole, severe acute respiratory syndrome pandemic happened. Yeah. As a lifelong asthmatic bear, it's no choice. I can tell you that. I don't choose to have it. Although I have to say where I am, I don't get attacks. I don't really get them at all. I've had one in 20 years. Little flare-ups a couple of times, but nothing really. Which is great. So, knock on wood. There we go. Anyway, there's a lot of knocking on wood. My God, we have to hope for the best. But I'm wondering what the asthmatic people are saying, because as an asthmatic, I can't wear the mask, to tell you the truth. There's no fucking way. I can't even get enough air breathing. But, I like that. The doomers. You see, that's it. You can be a doomer if you take the happy pills. And you like to wallow in the dooming because the happy pills make you happier or something. It maybe gives you an extra burst of whatever it is the happy pill gives you if you wallow in the doom. If you wallow in the doom, the pill takes you higher. Wallow in the doom. Yeah, well, yeah. The doom of environmental, destruction, the doom of extinction event, doom and gloom. But now it's worse, because the doomers are all insane. They're on psychiatric pills, and the doomers will scream and virtue signal until the rest of the people on psychiatric pills join them, and they got nothing else better to do because they're unhireable, a lot of them. And now there you're talking. Arab men's scarves. What do they call them? Keffiyehs. Keffiyehs. I don't know. Where's the accent go? Keffiyehs? Keffiyehs. Keffiyeh. It sounds like it should be on the middle syllable. Yeah. Yeah, I'm. If I had to wear a mask, I'd go full on Borg. I'd shave my head. I put in the eyepiece, and I color my skin white, like that sickly pale white. I get the whatever it is, the costume, and I just look at people with my big open eye. Yes, Tony Heller. Go see Tony Heller. He suddenly popped up in the subs and views. He mentioned that a while ago, but that's danger, Tony. You know that, right? That's danger. But he's got great information. In fact, if they take his channel down, what a resource is wasted. But anyway. He's into this anti-doom. Okay, you want to go? Full vigilante RoboCop. Yeah, see, Borg. Yeah. Yeah, the N95. I'm going to say that the holes are pretty small in an N95, but the viruses are smaller. So. But yeah, dizzy in 1 minute. Fuck them. Phone get in contact with the Asthmatic Association. See what they say, Bear. That this is absolute tyranny against asthmatics. And apparently, some large number of Americans now have been diagnosed with asthma. Although I'm not sure whether it's, asthma really just means now respiratory distress due to something. I used to think it was well defined. It's not. It's very loosely defined. So when I was young, there weren't many, but now apparently it's like 35% of young people now. It's massive. And, they should put the brakes on this. It's a severe acute respiratory syndrome. And when an asthmatic hears that, that's basically, terrorism, right? You're part of a pandemic of an acute respiratory syndrome. What? I'm an asthmatic. Immediately, other people may not understand what that means, but an asthmatic does. This was ultimately terrorism. So, yeah. Oh, you got to wear it in the car? You got to wear the mask inside the car? Alone? What? My God, this is nuts. I can't stand it. I can't stand even hearing about it. And, not to say that it doesn't happen in the country where I am, but it doesn't happen where I am in that country. It happens in the city, but it's less severe there, I hear. People come and go from there. But, and you see some people, but not many now, driving inside a car with masks, alone or with other people. They tried to do it, but it didn't hold here. This is all massive stupidity. Massive stupidity. There's lots of, downsides. There's lots of downsides. Oh, I see what you're talking. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, no, that's right. Now you're prevented from, and this was part of the plan, wasn't it? To isolate people, to remove them from having their power of movement. So maybe this is part of it. Yeah. Forrest J. Burns, that is a meme. You've got to do that. Democracy is overrated. It leads to too many men wearing high heels. Period. Right there. Democracy is overrated. It leads to too many men wearing high heels. Oh my fuck. That's funny. And unfortunately, it's sadly true, right? We have to admit that with the toxic masculinity push, men have decided that they want to be 1950s women. Those women who had, the best of all possible worlds. Oh, man. I've heard this. I understand this. But I can't believe it's happening. That turning people away at the city gates. What fucking year are we living in? It's like 1350. Oh, the plague is upon us. We're not letting people into the city. You can hear in the city the sounds that we hear every day. Ding, ding, ding. Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. We're not letting people in today. Go away. Holy shit. Yeah. And yet, there's no bodies other than, really old people who are going to die anyway. Yes, for real. It may be coming. There may be something here. Yeah. There may be something here. It's coming. I had a thought about this thing. Okay, it's there. It doesn't really make you sick, but it's in your body. And the virus contains like a biological nanobot that they can trigger, and at some point they'll trigger it, and then you'll turn into a pomegranate or something, and then it's too late because everyone's got it. So that's why they're trying to slow it down. So there's some sort of trigger there, or maybe they want to have everyone get it and then get the vaccine, and then the vaccine contains the real bot that when they trigger it, everyone turns into a pomegranate. Yes. Chicago has, I don't know. Oh, yeah, Aaron. If they're doing that with this, what in the hell would they do if there was actual bodies? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not sure about that county, but anywhere outside of these cities, they've destroyed these cities. They're shooting galleries, Although no, there's nice spots in the cities. These are big, huge cities. So, uh, but yeah, these cities are now going to turn into hellscapes because they can't collect enough tax money because the tax revenue is going down because the office buildings are closed. Nobody's renting out apartments. They're moving out of the cities. They're moving into the countryside, such as those in wonderful DuPage County. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, nice. Uh, I'm trying to do a. Well, I can't get any pictures. I get one picture of DuPage County. It looks wonderful with the colored leaves, but that's it. Yeah. Illinois is one of those rich, places. It's sort of big. I'm from the East Coast, and everything's sort of small. The trees grow small, and but that southern part of Lake Michigan, cold, sure, but rich. Yeah. Oh yeah. In the suburbs. Yeah. Naperville. Oh. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's on the DuPage River. Oh yeah. See, look at that. Yeah. Well, of course, it's going to be the western suburb of Chicago. I don't think there are any eastern suburbs. But I guess there's north and south, right? Yeah, yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's 40 kilometers outside of downtown Chicago. Yeah. Where did I make it to? I made it. Where did I make it to? I was around there once. I've never been to Chicago and Wisconsin. I've never been to Wisconsin. So those are two states. I've been to 42 states, but not Wisconsin. I thought I was in Illinois. I went to some university there. Is there a university in southern, not Notre Dame, but anyway, I can't seem to find it on the map. I love how all the roads are straight up and down. Man, that's great. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that area of the world well at all, really. Wow. Yeah, I like looking at maps. Okay. Juneau, but not Juneau, Alaska. Alaska. Yeah, Washington Island. I looked up Washington Island, and yeah, wow. Yeah. There's something about Washington Island. Why was I looking at that? Anyway, I was just looking at Washington Island. That's right. Oh, I see. The thumb of the glove. That's right. Ah, right. Got it. Yeah, I think that's really sort of interesting how Wisconsin goes over that top part there, and Michigan. How they are divided up around the Great Lakes. Canada's more simple up there. It's just Ontario. Ontario's so friggin' big. My God, it's big. Yeah. My God, big. Anyway, yeah, lovely, lovely places of the world over there, right in the heart of the continent. Ah, no. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they decided to put in cul-de-sacs and roads that feed back almost where they started. I grew up in a place like that. Modern urban design. Modern meaning 1960s. Okay, add some interest. Why not? Yeah, it's a guns for criminals only town, Aaron. And this is not a good thing for America to do. Uh, shall not be infringed means infringed. I think this is part of the destruction of language. And yeah, I'm not sure about what the result of that will be, Bear, but shall not be infringed sounds pretty clear to me. Congress is not allowed to infringe. That's it. And that, I think, means that nobody else can either. So, and yet, Americans acquiesce to that, and they'll acquiesce to more, and they'll acquiesce to a mask and a vaccine, and they'll acquiesce to whatever it is that has to happen. And they'll acquiesce to Dorsey shutting down, the ability of newspapers to, use his platform, and they'll acquiesce to foreigners coming in running American mass media. The Americans will either acquiesce all the way down or it will stop. And maybe the crazy train has to stop and allow some fumigation to happen. Yeah. Well, it seems clear to anyone who speaks English and can read it, shall not be infringed. Yeah. Anyway, we'll have to see what happens, and we're gearing up to the election on November 3rd, and I'm hopefully going to get things together. And we've done a test today, and I'm going to end the stream right about now and get out before something bad happens, because the tech is not going down. We're going as smooth as anything. Although I got to say, I don't know what's happening with the tech. I was into a Google's Hangout call, and in the middle of the call, the word killing appeared. And it was, in real time, edited out. It was edited out on both ends. And I noticed that, and I can't believe it. So they're real-time editing. They're screwing around with the tech, and maybe again, some of this is AI, and maybe due to what's happening with the Senate hearings, that the AI was aware of the Senate hearings and is pulling back. I don't know. But in any case, we appear to be no longer in control of our ability to speak freely. And this has to change for the sake of men, young and old. This has to change for a return to stability, a return to sanity. And in all of this, until that happens, remember, Mgtow Ghost Level 4, tell everyone, there's no point in engaging any of it. There is no point in engaging. Because these people are going to go and do bad things if you let them. So don't let them do it to you. Keep your head down, man. And thanks for joining on this stream. And I think we'll be back and do the election together. Take care. And remember, Mgtow plenty in 2020.